These are the sounds that the community of Westbury hears on a daily. Today I'm going to speak with some of the community members in this area, and I'm going to be honest, I am afraid. Because the situation in this area is volatile and anything can happen. I am going to the house of one of the elders in the community. She's been living here for about 53 years, and she is a pastor in the community, and she has basically seen it all.
Knock, knock.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Pastor Doreen Barbie. I lived in Westbury.
How long have you lived in Westbury?
53 years. That's how old I am. 53 years. I've been staying.
Oh my goodness, 53 years. Can you tell me about what the difference is between back then and what it is now? Westbury, like how's it changed? How's it transformed in the past years?
Westbury has changed a lot. For me, back then, life was life. It was a good life. There was very discipline. There was respect. There was order. There was love. There was unity. I remember when I was a child, I was a very naughty child, but not that naughty as in naughty. If I say naughty, we used to rob the trucks back then, the meat trucks, the clothing trucks, but it was fun. It was fun for us. But when the adults step in and rebuked us and start to talk to us, we stopped. We didn't continue. Because it was affecting our community in a business manner and with finances to the shops that is in our place. So we were very disciplined children back then, but now it is very sad. It breaks my heart, especially for me as a grandmother and as a mother. It really breaks my heart because our youth, they are shooting at one another. For what? Simple, very stupid reasons. It is, you ask them, why do you shoot this child? You don't have remorse, or you don't even show remorse. You don't show pity towards the parent of the children that you are shooting. And I said to somebody, because I had an incident on Sunday night where I stay, at the building where I stay. This child, I grew up in front of his grandparents. He grew up in front of me. While I was busy, because I just loosened the braidings that I had on my head. So this lady, I went to the lady to go do my hair. And while I was there, one of the people screamed because one of the ladies saw me going to another a prophetess woman, friend of mine. And he said, Pastor Barbie, they are shooting there at your building. I'm like, at my building? Are you sure? Because nothing of this ever happened there. So when I went down, I saw how, while I'm on my way to my flat, I see how people is standing around. And that is when I believe there's a shooting taking place. I went, and when I came to the stairs, I saw blood. And I followed the blood. And my daughters screamed at me and my grandchildren, Granny, Omi, come. I'm like, guys, what is happening? My daughter said, Mommy, you better come home because they are shooting here. And I'm like, who's shooting now again? And then she explained to me, and I went up to the person that was shot. It's also a child that grew up in front of me. But I thank God that he's still alive. They only shot him in his arm. He held his baby. But it is very painful. I said, the one thing that I said, I don't know anymore how to handle this. It is in such a way that you don't know anymore. Must you cry? Must you scream? Must you fight with the children? Must you go to the houses where you know the children stays and fight with the parents? You don't know, because even the child that did the shooting on Sunday, his mother walked out of the house because she's afraid for her life.
Yo, that is so deep. So with your interactions with the youth, do they say, when you speak and ask
what is the reason why you're using a gun or whatever? Do they say it's because I need to put food on the table? It's the situation at home that is pushing me into the streets. What is the reasoning with your interactions that you've had with the youth?
You see, like I said now, everything starts at home. Whether you confront these children. Some of the children are doing the shooting. Some big men or whoever calls them, because they never confide to us who is sending them to go shoot those people or this particular person. You just find somebody is shot. These children are getting money. Why do they take the money? They're desperate.
Thank you, Pastor Bobby, for talking to me and just giving me insight on what Westbury has looked like for the past many decades.
Now I am going to Uber to go speak with a young person from this community, and I'm just trying to get a feel on what it's like to be a young person that grew up in this community and just existing as a young person in this community.
Hello, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Vinita Koopman.
Do you want to tell us how old you are?
I am 32. I'm going to be 33 in December.
All right. Tell me about a day in Westbury. What does it look like?
I think, a day in Westbury is pretty chilled, actually. Aside from everything else that's happening, it's a normal day. People are going to work, people are going to school, or people come from school or come from work. You have people going to the shops, fetching their kids, just it's like a normal day. Obviously, the street that I live in it's been a targeted street for months now. Different guys, that are there, and just the guys that are there, in the street, they obviously get classified under specific names. So they make the street very hot because, these are the opposite parties fighting against each other. So, like I said, just last week or the week before that, a young man was shot in our street. And this was broad daylight. This was, kids were running around, people walking around, and this thing happened. They shot a 19-year-old young boy and killed him. He died on the spot. And another girl was also shot. She was shot in the stomach.
To what degree do you think the access these young people have to illegal firearms shapes their lives?
Sure. If you see the amount of shootings happening, you see the amount of guns that's actually in the area, it's shocking because where does it come from? Like, who's supplying? Who's the suppliers of this thing? You kind of don't know unless you are in it, then you'll know exactly where that is coming from. But I believe that, kids want a sense of belonging, and they want a sense of, I might not have finished school, I might have dropped out of school at a very young age, but then you get a group of people that actually accept you, and they say, no, but you are good for something. And I think that's the thing that actually draws these young men, because they're not being pushed aside, they're being accepted into these gangs, and these gangs are now making sure that they put it nicely, like, we are family. So these kids kind of feel like this is a space where they can belong, right?
Thank you for speaking to me and just bringing me into your day-to-day life in Westbury. Appreciate it. Thanks.
This podcast is a product of the Honors in Journalism and Media Studies program, research component at the Wits Center for Journalism in Johannesburg. It is produced and edited by Aphelele Mokoto.